All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has finally been announced Jack Della Maddalena is taking on Islam Makhachev in Madison Square Garden. Islam Makhachev is going for double champ status, and I don't think he's going to achieve it. I think JDM is going to beat Islam 49-46, unanimous decision in MSG. There's more to talk about though. We have Zhang Weili, Valentina Shevchenko, Prates versus Leon, and some other fights. Up. This is a real fight for this is a title fight, by the way. Title fight. Again, I'll say it again, title fight. And yeah, and then there's this. But we'll just start off here. Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. I think Jack Della Maddalena, with his takedown defense that he showed against Bilal and his ability to strike, plus Islam Makhachev struggle with people like Poirier and Volk, who they're great by the way, but JDM has amazing takedown defense. Craig Jones, the Craig Jones takedown defense against Dagestanis is just unbelievable. He just knows how to shut him down. So JDM, I think, just gonna be able to shut down the wrestling of Islam Makhachev. And if you take a look at Islam's fights against Volk and Poirier, whenever they were able to stuff the takedowns, they were able to box with, or even at times outbox Islam Makhachev. And I think JDM's a better boxer than Volk, maybe not Poirier. But Volk's just a better overall mixed martial artist because he was getting it done on the ground too. JDM keeps the fight standing. And another thing, I think JDM is just too big for Islam to get the takedown in the first place. Like he's gonna have the takedown defense skill of Volk and Poirier plus an additional 20 something pounds if we're counting like cutting weight and stuff. I just think he's gonna be I know Islam's bulking up, but he's not used to fighting anybody. He's not used to fighting anybody the size of JDM, and I think that's going to be a major factor. I see Islam getting rocked. I don't think he's going to get dropped. I don't think he's going to get finished. I think if there is a finish, it would be an Islam submission. I'm not saying Islam can win. I'm just saying what I think is going to happen on the night. And I think JDM is going to just shut down the takedown defense of Islam Makhachev. And yeah, that's all I got. Moving on, same fight card, two double champ fights. Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. This fight, I actually think Zhang Weili is going to be able to get it done. I think Zhang Weili is going to be double champ. Well, won't be double champ because 321, the vacant title's on the line. Is that 321? It's 321 that's on the line, right? Yeah. I don't know. They could have just made that 323 in December, but no, we're on this fight. Yeah, I just think Zhang Weili is too fast. She was dominating strawweight. There's nobody at strawweight who can compete with her, and like even only one who beat her was Rose Namajunas. But I don't think. I think Rose would. I think she'd beat Rose now. I think she's improved a lot since those two fights. And I don't know why I have to yawn so bad, but yeah, Valentina Shevchenko is just slowing down, she's just getting older. Like I picked Grasso to beat her the second time. I thought Shevchenko won the second time, but in no world would I have ever picked Grasso before. And even the Men and Fiorot fight, I was on the fence, and that was a really close fight. But I ended up going with Shevchenko. But I just think this is the fight. Weili is that level of fighter that's gonna be able to beat Shevchenko. And honestly, if like Juliana Pena or Raquel Pennington were still the champ of bantamweight, I think Zhang Weili could have went up and gotten triple champ status. It was so serious, but I don't think she could beat Kayla Harrison or Nunes if Nunes comes back. But yeah, I think we're gonna get another double champ added to the list in Zhang Weili in Madison Square Garden. And finally on the MSG card, we have Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. I know Prates wanted to fight in Brazil, but nobody wanted to fight in Brazil. It was too short of a time. And I know he lost to Ian Gary, but the last two fights from Leon, I know they were grappling losses, but the confidence just keeps going down and down. Protest's confidence is always there; it's ever growing. I just think he's gonna walk down Leon Edwards, and Leon's used to being on the back foot. That's how he countered Kamaru Usman. He's used to being on the back foot, but I think a guy like Prates is going to be able to eat a shot from Leon Edwards, and when he eats a shot, I think he's going to take a shot, an even bigger one back from Carlos Prates, and I think it's going to be a round 2 TKO for Prates if I had to guess. I think he's improved from that Ian Gary fight. He fought very smart against Jeff Neal, and I don't know his grappling, how much he's working on that. I know he's mainly a stand-up guy, but I think Process will get it done by round 2 knockout. Leon, if he doesn't just find that shot against these higher level guys, like he was able to get away with not finding the shot against Nate Diaz or an old RDA. But against Usman, he found the shot, and then in the third fight, it was close, and he had the cheek, but he did win, I believe. I thought he won against Colby. That's just an old Colby. Now he's fighting these young, up and coming guys. I guess Bilal's not young, but he was just a dominant wrestler. But we saw him against Sean Brady get absolutely dominated on the ground, and I think this is the fight where it's make or break for Leon, and I think he's gonna break. I think Carlos Prates gets this done, round 2 TKO, maybe even like a knockout, like just a flatline KO, but definitely a TKO at least. Probably up against the fence, he'll hit Leon with like a left hook or right, like a left or right hook. I can just see a left hook, and then Leon takes a knee against the fence. He's on like the one hand on the ground, one knee position, uh, hand in front of his head, trying to block the shots for Prates. Just hitting the jaw like the uppercuts they do when they're slumped against the fence, and the ref's gonna step in, and Prates will be basically. I this normally would get him a title shot, but with Shavkat at the top and Sean Brady and Ian Gary, he's still one away. So he'd have to win this fight and then win one more, and then we can start talking about a title shot for Prates. But yeah, this is make or break for Leon. Yeah, like I said, any of these three fights I think can go either way. I'm just saying who I think's gonna win. But moving on, we're gonna move on to these these two fights. Yeah, let me just talk about this one first. I think Umar's gonna win. I think it's gonna be pretty convincing. 30-27 decision if it's a 3-round fight. If they make it a 5-round fight for some reason, 50-45. Mario Batista is getting. People hate him, but I see people picking him. I think he's getting slightly overrated because of his win against Patchy Mix, but Patchy Mix looked really bad in that fight, like violently bad versus Umar, who looked really good against Marab, and that was his second 5-round fight, I think. At least in the UFC. I don't know about for UFC. Second 5-rounder in the UFC. And sorry. It's in Abu Dhabi too. It's in the home turf. I think this is gonna be a very clear win for Umar Nurmagomedov. And yeah, oh boy, the rematch that everybody's been calling for. Mackenzie Dern versus Varna Jandiroba. Mackenzie Dern fighting for a title fight. Just close the division. Bro, it's over. Varna Jandiroba should win this very easily. I know she lost the first fight, but I think she's only gotten better. Mackenzie Dern couldn't strike with a 7-year-old doing karate. It's really bad. Um, I just think Varna Jandiroba is going to easily get this done. Unanimous decision or submission or ground and pound TKO. I could see it happening anyway. But I am kind of disappointed in the Dana White announcement because nothing new came out other than Leon Prates. And he did say he confirmed the White House card, which is kind of perfect because I've been trying to build a card for the White House. I'm trying to figure out the prelims. I have the main card and the early prelims figured out, I think. But yeah, I'll have that out for you guys tomorrow. My full White House card builder. Now that I know that's happening, and yeah, there's not really much more for me to say. I That's my thoughts on these fights. I'm glad they're being made. I think this is very interesting. 2 double champ fights on 1 card, which is, I mean, that's good, especially because it's MSG. But yeah, I just didn't expect that to happen. I feel like if they can just add one more good fight to this card. Where's like an Armin Patty fight, by the way, or an Armin Gaethje, a Patty Gaethje, just something to figure out the lightweight title picture a little bit more. And I would say Taporia could fight in December, but I really think they want to save him for Paramount. Their first event on Paramount, they want it to be a Taporia event. But these fights, this is where you figure out the number 1 contender in November. This card right here, like this fight right here should be the lightweight number 1 contender fight. I mean, this is a sick fight anyway, but you should slide this down one spot and have the feature fight be the number 1 contender fight at lightweight. And yeah, I mean, this fight still pisses me off, but this fight's alright, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Just let me know who you think's gonna win these fights in the comments below. Let me know who you think, what fights you think are gonna be on the UFC White House card. Like I said, I will have that card builder out for you guys tomorrow. And that's it for me. So I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.